I'm getting a message that there is an undercover agent. I got some more stuff here. I'm not sure how it all fits together. I have one card that fell out, which is curiosity. And on it, it says bored/curious, bored being the lower polarity and curious being the higher polarity, something, a productive energy that we can work with, curiosity. And I am curious, what is this undercover agent? So we're going to get into it and see what comes through, what Spirit has to say. For those of you who have been here and you've been on the community tab and you know what's going on with the sign-specific readings and extendeds and all of that, I was sitting here for a long time and I was thinking, okay, what is this that's happening? I've run into a little bit of a hiccup. And it's allowing me to open a space for more collective readings to come through. And I've done, like, what is this, the third or fourth collective reading in a row, which is not typical for me and this channel. Usually I kind of sprinkle them throughout. And I'm thinking maybe there are messages that need to come through for the collective. And until I figure something else out for the signs, I'm meant to do this. It's a possibility. And so if something like this is happening to you or you come across something like this, look for the opening. Be curious about what's happening. Of course, sometimes when something happens and it kind of puts a wrench in our plans, we feel this need of like, I'm losing control over something. And you might feel that too. But Spirit is saying approach it with curiosity instead. And maybe some of you have been bored for a while with something and now something is happening and it's creating momentum and energy. Energy is being stirred up for you to explore. So I truly believe that I'm being guided here to do a collective reading. Hopefully we'll get back on track with the sign reading soon, but maybe those signs that are still to come need more time. So we're just going to trust the process. And this is definitely part of the message. Undercover agent. And then I got something about the left shoulder. Maybe this is like looking over your left shoulder, or there's something going on with the left shoulder. And then I saw a campfire. And it was like a bunch of people holding hands around a campfire. It felt like ancestors or maybe guides. There's a sudden movement, a thrust coming. I saw the campfire, like the winds and the fire just kind of blow the fire in one direction. It's like a thrust of wind, a thrust of energy coming in, directing the fire in a different way or taking over control of the fire in some sense. So Spirit is doing a job here. And I think for myself, that's what I definitely need to sit with and embody and realize, but also we all do in all of our circumstances that we're going through. Spirit is doing a job. And then I saw lotus flowers. So there's something that maybe has some muddy beginnings that wants to grow into something beautiful. So the question to ask yourself, if you're running into any kind of difficult emotions or difficult situations, things are kind of just going off the rails, then ask yourself, what is this energy or this situation allowing me to do? Even if it's like you're breaking up with someone, I hope not. But, you know, if you are in that space or you're in a place of indecision and you don't know which job to take, ask yourself, what is being in this energy allowing me to do? Is it gifting me something that I wouldn't be given had I had just like kept going with something and not paused in this kind of tense energy I find myself in? And I just watched a whole astrological report about what's going on this week, and it's intense. There are some things happening in the sky. So there are some astrological influences that are going to be impacting all of us in one way or another in these next coming weeks, hopefully, maybe months. But the key is to be curious. So I want to find out, speaking of curiosity, let's find out about this undercover agent. Maybe we should keep this open. Undercover agent. Okay. Let me see, Spirit. Tell me. Yeah, let's use this card. Tell me about the undercover agent. What is this about? Okay, more than one card wants to come through, so let's see. Security, it says insecure and safe. Comfort, lost and found. And blessings, unaware and graceful. Undercover agent. Well, maybe there's a blessing in disguise then, with the blessings coming out. Something to shake you up a little bit. But it feels like to shake you, to revitalize you in some way. Or maybe it's to remind you of something that you're good at. Or something that you can do, but you haven't done for a while. I want to pull some charms out and get a little bit more specific here. Let's see. These could be clues that this reading is for you, although if you're still here, I do believe it is, and that there's something here for you. Or maybe I'm hearing a question will come through with the charms. Usually I say a message, but I heard a question. We have a magician's hat with a wand. The Wheel of Fortune, which is a card of blessings and change. It can be about losing security to gain a new path. We also have show and please. Please show. Number 5, perfume bottle. There could be something about smell happening. I think this came through recently in a sign reading. That your smell might be enhanced recently. It's like a clair olfactory. I don't know what you would call it, but like a psychic ability to smell things in the ethers, to smell things in the other realms, to smell spirits or to smell energy or, whatever it is for you. That's for some of you. If you've been sitting around and you catch a whiff and you don't know what's going on, whether the smell is pleasant or unpleasant, it could be you're picking up on something intuitively. That's happened to me only a couple times, but it's pretty wild when it does happen. Then we have this apple, which reminds me of teaching or knowledge. We have a clock with 11 o'clock, or is it 11:45? I can't tell which is the small hand or the big hand. We have the letter R, which might be a message there, telling the small hand from the big hand. Something about give and take there. Okay, we have the letter R, the letter U, the letter F, the letter A, and a howling wolf. Let's get a couple more. We have Sagittarius. And I just, as I put it down, it flipped to this to Leo. But I was about to say the South Node, but it's Leo. So maybe there's something going on with Leo energy in the South Node. And we have him. Masculine energy. Okay, working through some masculine energy in the South Node. Okay, so there's something that's about security and safety. A blessing coming through, letting you know that you are safe, you are secure. And even if you've lost some kind of comfortability in a relationship or in a job situation, or just in general, you're feeling anxious, I'm hearing out of control, the answer is to get curious, okay? Which I guess is kind of a Virgo trait. And right now the South Node is in Virgo, is to be a little bit curious and look into something. And then the North Node right now is in Pisces. So it's not meant to be like a kind of rigid curiosity. Is that a thing? Or like a curiosity where you're going into some kind of deep, detailed investigation and getting into this heavy-duty analysis. It's more using that Piscean energy to be openly curious, to see what would happen if you just remain open right now. Okay, dreams. I'm hearing mental imagery could be strong right now for you. I'm hearing T, maybe Tom, or something like that. Tomily, something like that. Doesn't have to be a name, it could be something else. Like a brand or something, I don't know. We have direction for your support and know thyself and liberation for the challenge. Resistance at the bottom. Yeah, this is the vibe. This is like shaking you up so that you can understand a little bit more about the ways that you've been keeping yourself trapped or small or confined. It's time to liberate yourself and maybe even liberate some knowledge you have about yourself. Interesting. For example, perhaps you know the way you act and react in certain circumstances, and you haven't been able to really express why you act or react in that way to yourself or to another, or your emotions or your feelings. And it's like you're going to stop holding it in so much, liberate it, free it. There's something that you've been containing for a while. And it's like something you know about yourself. I don't know what that is exactly. Maybe this is coming through in a kind of healing setting or a healing practice. It's like a repressed memory or repressed knowledge about yourself or your ancestors even. And it's going to come out and be liberated. But there's some resistance to it right now, which is why it's showing up as a challenge. Resistance. The supportive energy, direction. You're heading in a new direction, and look where it's going. It's beautiful. It's kind of a direction that is big and not one that you can necessarily see clearly. Like, you're not going to miss the destination and the goal. It's going to be very obvious to you what it is that you're after or heading towards, but what it's actually going to turn out to be or feel like is still yet to be determined or revealed to you. But you're on the right track as you navigate through this shakeup. Don't take the shakeup as you being on the wrong track. Just take it as like a little bit of a poke, a little bit of a from the universe, like, hey, wake up. Or maybe if you're bored, it's like time to get curious about yourself, time to get curious about what you're doing in the world around you, time to look at this situation with curiosity, because you're on the right track, but maybe you have been like kind of neglecting something or ignoring something. So you're on the right track, but the shakeup is like the path isn't straight, right? It's kind of jaggedy, like a lightning bolt, which is an epiphany moment. The path has an epiphany moment on it. And I feel like that's where you are right now. That's where a lot of us are right now with the astrology, for sure. Okay, shaking us out of old habits even. There could be a new way that you're looking at your body or your health, your current living circumstances and situations, especially with security coming up here. You could be thinking about heading in a new direction. And I feel like that's a good choice. You may have to what do I say there? Search. Yeah, it's like you may have to spend some time kind of like being curious and figuring out what it is that you're going to move towards, and maybe getting a little bit of a plan in place, because the path isn't clear. So it's not like, oh, I want to move, and then you pack up tomorrow and you go. It's like you have to spend some time searching and being curious. There's something that you want, I feel, that you haven't really put into words yet. Like it hasn't crystallized as a conscious thought, but it will. It will. Some of you are moving away from like a very specific situation, or it could even be a person. And this is really going to help you come back into yourself and discover another side of yourself, one that wasn't allowed to thrive and shine in your current circumstances or in your past circumstances. And this feeling of being a little bit lost or losing yourself, it's actually, it turns out to be a little bit of a blessing, this feeling of losing yourself, because it reminds you to find yourself. You know, sometimes we just get really comfortable in our habits and our personalities and who we are and the way we view the world, that we don't stop to question and ask, like, is there another side to this I'm seeing? Is there another part of me that I have yet to express? We're habitual creatures, right? So we just keep kind of doing the same thing, repeating the same karmic patterns in many different ways in our life, not just in relationships, but even routine patterns, which Virgo rules, our routines. And I feel like with the South Node being there, we're clearing some of that energy out and looking at our habits and saying, I feel a little bit lost in my routine. I feel a little bit lost in what I'm doing. This routine maybe is broken now, and that's why I feel lost. But it's a liberation. It's a blessing. And it's an invitation to step into the new, to step into a place that maybe doesn't feel so secure. And that could be hard if you're a fixed sign. Or if you have other placements. It depends on a whole bunch of things. It just came to me because I'm a Taurus stellium and security is important to me. But it can be so exciting and eye-opening when we release that need to know and that need to control, or that need to know what's going to happen. It can be so exciting to just allow things to unfold and see where it takes us, to allow ourselves to be curious. Okay. So let's get the tarot out and see what else Spirit wants to say to us. Undercover agent. Yeah, is that the blessing in disguise? The world. Yeah, the blessing in disguise, the undercover agent, is something's coming to an end. I'm hearing critical mass. I don't know what that's about. Something's coming to an end. But see, look at these lanterns here. It's like you're sending off a lantern. You're sending off a manifestation, a dream, a hope, a wish. And you're sending it off into the world, right? You don't know where this is going to go. You have no idea where the lantern and your wish, your manifestation is actually carrying out to in the universe and to the energy field. You don't know, but you trust it. You have faith. And so while this card can be about endings, and I feel like it is a little bit of an ending, okay, that's happening, especially with the Wheel of Fortune. When the wheel turns, we're moving away from something else. But I also feel like this card here is speaking about opening yourself up to other worlds than the one that you've currently been in and that you've been inhabiting. Maybe it's getting a little bit too small for your energy. You need to expand. Liberate, know thyself, liberate yourself. Some of you are going to meet a whole bunch of new people, okay? That campfire, holding hands with guides and ancestors, and maybe these are other people as well who bring their guides and ancestors with them. It's a big party. Okay, so there's like something coming up here where you're going to meet a whole bunch of people, or it could even be online, but I don't know. It's like you're coming into contact. There's a momentum here. I'm seeing a ball rolling. It's like these forces have wanted to come together for some time. Sudden movement, a thrust, right? It's like Spirit's coming to show you some direction, but I don't know, you're with other people here in what I'm seeing. Okay, so let's see what else we get here. The star for what you don't see coming. See? I feel like I always say that that way whenever the star. It is one of my favorite cards. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I just, it's a vibe, right? Now, I know every card has a higher and lower polarity. I do. But to see the star after the world card is that a lotus flower? Or is that a lily? I don't know. But it kind of looks like the flower that I was seeing. Something is blooming here after this feeling of putting something out into the world or something ending. This is exactly what needs to happen. The star. This is your destiny, your direction, and it's a card of healing as well. I'm hearing magnetism. A card of magnetism. Let's see. Magnetic what? Maybe you're the undercover agent. You're bringing inner child. You're bringing, the inner child could be the undercover agent that's driving this, that's pulling you, that's manifesting this turn this new energy that's coming your way. Yeah. Your inner child wants to be liberated. And maybe you've been trying to keep your inner child safe and secure, right? Keeping it comfortable. And those of us who have had interesting, maybe disruptive or potentially even traumatic childhoods or events that happened in childhood, this is one of the things that we try to do. We do try to protect ourselves and keep our inner child safe and secure. And on this card, it says careless or receptive. And I feel like this is the choice that you have right now with the energies that you're being presented. It's like Spirit saying, watch out about being careless with your thoughts, maybe with your emotions, with trying to, I'm hearing retrench, like plant yourself, dig a trench, I don't know, go further into an energy that's not working for you, like try entrenched. Yeah, maybe you're entrenched in something and you could feel this reaction like, I just want to stay here. I just want to be in this place. I just want to stay here. I don't want anything to change. That would be careless. And it's not that the whole thing has to necessarily look a different way when you wake up tomorrow, but something does need to open up to allow some new energy in so you can be liberated. And many of you have already done this, okay? But you could be kind of like, okay, and then what? Okay, Andy, I've done that. And where am I now? What's happening now? Well, what's happening now is you're being asked to be curious. The other word on here, as I said, is receptive. To be receptive to the change, to the blessing, not to be resistant to it. Okay? So the star for what you don't see coming. Definitely a blessing in disguise. Is there another way to say that? I feel like it's so cliche to say it now. Oh, I wanted to pull a symbol from this book. Thanks for reminding me, Spirit. I don't know. Maybe this is going to be a synchronicity for someone or give us more information. Let's see. What do we have for the collective, Spirit? I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Oh, we have Temperance. Number 14. This is not a tarot book. It has many symbols and signs, but this wants to be read. Temperance. Temperance is one of the cardinal virtues. It speaks of self-restraint, carefulness, and then that said careless, right? Carefulness and moderation. It also implies an easygoing nature. A sensible person that is wise enough not to be caught up in the petty concerns, who can see the bigger picture. The world and the star, the bigger picture. And here you are seeing the bigger picture. Although you don't know exactly what it is of yet, but you see the picture and you know it's big. Okay. The card shows a female figure, often winged, signifying a messenger from God. She wears a 5-petaled flower in her hair that is often a hidden symbol for the 5-pointed star or pentacle. Is that 5-pointed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, here we have 5 petals on this flower. Okay. The key feature, however, are the 2 jugs that she holds, pouring liquid from one to another. We have the picture right there. One jug is blue and the other red. An alchemical process is at work here, because blue, a feminine color, mixing with the masculine red, produces violet, the color of the spirit. Knowing this, the flower... Oh, and it's a purple flower. Okay, hold on. I keep losing my place. Knowing this, the flower is suddenly more than mere decoration. Since 5, representing the idea of marriage, or it says since 5, I don't know, representing the idea of marriage or the union of opposites, is the sum. Oh, okay. Let me try this again. It's okay. Since 5, representing the idea of marriage or the union of opposites, is the sum of the female number 2 wedded to the male number 3. Okay, so the number 5 could be important for you right now. And we had that on the perfume bottle. Maybe you are attracted. Oh, we talked about scent, right? How did I miss that? Yeah, we talked about scent and smell. Maybe you are giving off a scent and a smell of the number 5, of the 5-pointed star, the pentacle, which is about change, but also changing into balance. Alchemizing something. Careful with your words and your thoughts. The similarity to the imagery of this card to the astrological sign of Aquarius is quite striking. The sign is linked to the element of air and the circulation of the blood, the life forces. But Temperance is the card of Sagittarius, and we did have that too. So maybe Aquarius and Sagittarius are significant. I'm also just now seeing Scorpio showing. The Temperance card may well be a reminder of rebirth and reincarnation. It is not just liquid that the woman pours with such care from one vessel into the other, but symbolically, the soul. So there's an alchemy of the soul that's going on. Let's see what your opportunity is in this. I don't even really want to call it a shift, although it could be, but it's more of like a thrust, emotion, like a thrusting force, emotion, an encouragement even. 3 of water. I told you there's going to be other people around you. You're not in this alone. Okay, 3 of water is about groups of people, group of friends. And these are the people at the campfire too. They're holding up this shell. Something's hidden in the shell. There's a coming together of forces. Okay? And if you are feeling kind of out of sorts, reaching out to others might be helpful. This could be vulnerable for some of you. Maybe you don't usually do this. Maybe you like to handle business yourself, or you just don't feel comfortable usually expressing when you feel a little bit. What's the feeling though? How should I say it? When you feel the Wheel of Fortune, like changes are happening, things are moving. It's not like a tower, but it's a like, oh, here we go, round and round the wheel we go. And it can be a little bit overwhelming at times, but it is a blessing. So reach out to others. 3 of water. This is a Cancerian card. And right now Mars is in retrograde in Cancer, and that's causing a whole bunch of stuff. And so maybe wherever Cancer is in your chart, you could be experiencing a little bit of like a push-pull energy. You want to go forward, but it feels like something's holding you back. That masculine energy that we're kind of clearing out, like a masculine energy that we've been kind of warring with or struggling with. It wants to evolve. Okay, and there's others here to help you. Don't isolate yourself at this time. I feel like it could be tempting to want to do that, especially if you're seeking security. Like sometimes we just want to guard ourselves, but I feel like being on the path with others will be helpful. Maybe this is part of the collective, why I'm doing collective readings, right? It's like working with more energies, or building a sense of community even, or reaching out, not isolating. Okay, let's see the challenge, Spirit. What is the challenge? This card wants to come out too. Knight of Water. And the Hermit. I told you, don't just hermit away here. That was my plan for this year, was to be a hermit. Well, it was, to understand thyself, deeper spiritual lessons. And maybe that's your goal too, but I'm hearing grain of salt, You know, we have to come up to the surface. Can't just stay in the cave, which in my mind right now, the cave is beneath. It's not in the mountain, it's below. The subconscious mind maybe, or the shadow. We need to connect, right? And so the challenge is the hermit, to go through something alone. The opportunity is to be with others. The Knight of Water came out too. Some of you might be listening to a lot of sad songs. I love sad songs. I even have a shirt that says sad songs. I should wear it on the channel. Because that melancholy energy really speaks to parts of me that don't get expressed often, that do feel like some kind of sadness. And you probably know, you've probably had this experience. There's a song, makes you sad, but it just feels so good to listen to it. And that's usually because we're connecting with someone else's emotions that they're expressing in the song. Even though we don't know the artist maybe, or we've never met them or whatever, and we don't know their story, we could still feel the energy, the resonance, and we're connecting with them. We're not alone in it when we listen to that music. And I'm saying that because here I'm seeing someone play, I think it's a sitar. Also, if you are creating something right now, don't be hard on yourself. Yeah, try to maybe experiment with something new. Look around you to be inspired as well. Yeah. I'm getting something about like how we are programmed to, I don't know how to word that, to like only feel successful if we've done it by ourselves. So we separate ourselves from others, not because we don't want to share the success with others, but because we won't feel like we're successful if we do something with others, which is obviously not the truth. So there's something about like rethinking how maybe this like stubborn independence, and independence is great, right? But there's something here in the Hermit we need to look at. This sense of being alone or achieving something alone. I did it all by myself, you know, that kind of thing. It doesn't have to be that way for it to be successful. Okay? I don't know who needed that. Let's see. Like children, the undercover agent, okay, that's steering this whole ship, okay, is your inner child. And children like to play with other children. Children like to connect with one another. It's more fun. It's funner. Okay. Knight of Fire for your advice. Oh yeah, the fire element. Curiosity with a spark. I'm seeing like a little Sherlock Holmes outfit, you know, the trench coat and the hat. Does he have a monocle? I don't know, I'm seeing that. But it's like turning something maybe into not a game, but an adventure. Turning it into an adventure. Okay, some of you are grieving. Okay, I'm here. It's the Ten of Swords energy that's coming through. The last thing you want is like to be Sherlock Holmes and have an adventure in the fun sense. What do you want to say to those people, Spirit? Queen of Air, Queen of Swords. Something about getting your mind straight. Hold on. Five of Earth. Three of Air. Yeah, I know, but what is it that we need to say? Seven of Fire. Page of Fire. You are using a lot of energy right now to protect yourself, and some of you do need to do that. But some of you need to, or it would benefit you. Sounds, hold on. Yeah. I don't know what's coming through, the energy that's coming through as I say it. I feel like it sounds insensitive, but it is what's coming through. It's like some of you, it would benefit you if you took that difficult energy you're dealing with of the 3 of Swords, 10 of Swords, 5 of Earth, and cutting through it in some way, like seeing the larger picture of it. This too shall pass energy. I know. See how it sounds insensitive? But it's what's here. You are sharpening your mind, okay? And your mind will show you that you are protected, 6 of Air, and that you can liberate and release yourself from these thoughts that are feeling heavy right now for you. Okay? Now, it's okay to be in those thoughts and in that space and work through it. And sometimes, like, I mean, what do? You have to do it, right? You have to feel those feelings. But there's somebody here that I'm picking up on where, like, you're just using a lot of fire energy. You're losing, I was going to say, you're losing maybe that kind of energy or expending it right now. And you could cut it in half. Yeah, cut through something, cut it in half and use half of it to do your grieving or to whatever you're doing, like, you know, working through that mental anguish, and then use the other half to do something else. Split it up. Okay, from 6 o'clock in the evening till 10 o'clock, I'll cry in bed, I'll journal, I'll listen to sad music, I'll do the whole thing, you know, I'll ruminate until the cows come home. But until that time, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this instead. So maybe block off a container of time for yourself where you just do that guilt-free. Yeah. The Philosopher's Stone. Because there's something about introducing, like splitting your energy and working with something else, like maybe creating something or like getting out somewhere. It helps you transmute this more difficult energy. You need like a new energy to come in and be introduced into whatever's going on. Okay, that was just for some of you. Knight of Fire, the passion, the spark is your advice. Go after something with gusto, you know? Like, you have to be curious and search and think about things, but be excited if you can, or passionate. Maybe if you can't be excited, be passionate here in a way that gets you closer to your blessings. Okay, let's see. What's going to manifest out of this energy? I don't have a time frame, which is interesting. The Hangman, yeah, I don't really have a time frame. The Hangman can often be associated with 9 weeks, 9 months. Maybe it's even a 9-year cycle some of you are closing. I'm seeing this bat hold on to her leg. And I love this actually. Last year, some of you know, you've been here for a while. Last year at this time, maybe even on this day. Whoa, that'd be crazy. I have to go look. But I had a bat come through into my house, which was a big deal for me. Obviously, it's very symbolic. And I was thinking, wow, it's been a whole year since that. And the bat for me at the time, not anymore, but at the time, it really represented something in my shadow that I needed to be looking at that I wasn't. And it was making itself very known to me, like, hey, Andy, you better listen up right now. I got something to say. And so, yeah, I've been doing a lot of work on that. And I feel like that work that you've been doing recently, maybe in the last year, last 9 months, 9 weeks, 9 years, is going to pay off. Because it's like the bat here is holding you, catching you in a way. Not going to let you fall. which is all that work that you've done on your shadow, on your fears, on your insecurities. You've done it. And the shadow is now integrated. The bat is your friend, not a foe. So the Hangman card is about having a new perspective and doing something in a different kind of way than what other people are doing or than what you've done before. Okay, I want to read a card from... Do I have it out here? Oh, I don't have it. Okay, so let's pull this one then. We'll just go with the flow. I wanted to get a card from the Mystical Shaman Oracle. Oh, it's right there. Interesting. But Spirit redirected me over here. Okay. I'm curious. Let's see what's going on here. I'm just seeing this little note pop out of the box, and I can't help but notice the phrase many blessings with the blessing card. This is Earth, Moon, and Shadow Oracle. The nest, spiritual hearth, comfort, and well-being with security. Remember that your home, your security, is always within yourself. Okay? We can find comforts outside in the world, in relationships and jobs and houses and friends and all these things and identity and, money or whatever. We can make that our nest egg or sense of security. But when that gets rocked, we need to also realize and know that we're actually secure without all that stuff. The security is within. Just holding these purple flowers here. And so I feel like Spirit is saying, no matter how uncomfortable you might be feeling right now, your well-being is being taken care of by your higher self, by you, and even your conscious self. You're taking care of yourself. All right. Mystical Shaman? No. Okay. So that's the reading I have for you. I hope this helped. I know it helped me. I love you so much. I'll see you next time.